Hello, what's up everybody? It's EBEN here. I'm gonna be answering some questions for you guys.
I wonder what the world before you looked like. I guess we'll never know.
My first tour was with the band Why Don't We? Back in 2017. 2017 was the first tour. I wasn't even performing. I was part of the crew. I was the production manager, the videographer, backline tech. I did all sorts of stuff. I was the DJ after the show. Yeah, man, that was such a fun time.
Got the brakes to the car. Said get in, you're learning to drive.
It was actually a Christmas show in my hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. Big shouts to Kiss 107, my boy Josh. He's the program director there. He put it on. It was an incredible event. I got to see a bunch of my Cincinnati friends and everything. Like there's like a little collective of artists, and we all kind of came up together from that city. So that was my last show, and I got to go home right after that and sleep in my bed. So that was a nice show. Plus it was Christmas, so the vibes were right. It was like nice and cold and snowy outside. I hate that we can't tour.
You'll never see it, you'll be gone.
Yes, my favorite like region of the world to tour in, I would have to say, is Europe. One, just because of the architecture. Like I love like the history, and it's like the fact that you can walk past a building and it was like built in the 1600s. It's really cool to me. Like history was my favorite. It was my favorite subject in school. So I love Europe. Plus just the different cultures. Like I enjoy experiencing different cultures. But like my favorite city, probably in the Netherlands, Utrecht and Amsterdam. Oh man, Amsterdam is such a good time. It reminds me of like Frozen. You know, it's just like a fairy tale land. It's so cool. It doesn't seem real. Like you have all the canals connecting each street and everything. It's so much fun.
But at least we got our phones.
One of the big moments in my career for me personally, it was invitation tour. I was opening up for Why Don't We, and it was 2 nights sold out at Radio City Music Hall. And New York, the fans go absolutely crazy. And a fun thing about that show, which made it that much more special, was the whole Atlantic label. They were there to see me as well. They came to see the show. So I was super nervous. I was freaking out. And at the time, like I just had like this white, I just had like a projector to project all my videos and stuff on it. And so it was just me on stage. Like I would press play on the side of the stage like for my set, and I would run out, and I timed everything like all myself so that I would have the same amount of time like speaking for each show, blah blah. So it was just like it was really nerve-wracking, and it was crazy. But I remember this moment when I was doing my song Free Fall, and I just looked out, and everybody in all of Radio City Music Hall, they all had their flashlights up on their phone. They were going side to side with me, and that was one of the greatest moments of my life, I'd have to say, 100%.
To the house, tucked us in with a kiss goodnight.
All right, so last summer, summer tour 2019, I had my own bus type vibe for the first time. It wasn't a bus, it's called a bandwagon. So it's much smaller. They just take a box truck and they make it into like a livable space. But the thing about a box truck is it sways so much, dude. It's absolutely crazy. So every time that, you go around a curve or you feel all the bumps, it was the most uncomfortable month and a half of my life. Like it was horrible. Now it was so much fun, and like we made it work, and it was awesome. But man, a tour bus is just so much nicer. It's just right low to the ground. You don't feel any bumps, anything. So yeah, my goal for the next tour is to definitely, kind of graduate up to a tour bus. But if it doesn't happen, all good. I'm just excited to be doing what I love. That's the most important thing.
I wonder what the world before you looked like.
It's an adapter for all different countries of the world, but it has 4 USBs and like a USB-C. It's like a multi-purpose adapter, and it's a godsend. It is the greatest thing ever created. So whoever made that, thank you, because I buy like 4 of them before I go on tour because they're either taken or I lose them. Also, a charger. God, I bring multiple phone chargers, multiple computer chargers. I have to have my pillow. I always bring my pillow on tour. In sweatpants and shorts, just comfy things.
Got the brakes to the car. Said get in, you're learning to
Our fridge. So in the bandwagon, there's a fridge. In our driver, he like whipped it around this curve like ridiculous. Like it was like we all felt it. And in the morning, boom, the fridge rolled out and smacked onto the table. I poked my head out of the bunk and I'm like, holy shit, all the food's like falling out into our bus. That was one of the most ridiculous things that happened on the tour.
one by